jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
You know, one-on-one, just say to him, ask him, do you buy the pay-per-view, or are you illegally getting it? You know, are you stealing it? Oh man, motherfucker, I steal it. I said, well, there you go. But you're supporting your fighter?
Bomb Squad!
Yo, once again, you're tuned in to WCS. Salute on this Friday, man. Hope everyone is doing great, man. Let's get to the first in the building. You know what it is. The first responders always get the love. Mr. Pass on deck, WCS, big up. What's good with it? Big Blunts and Boxing on deck. What's good, bro? Salute to both of y'all being the first in the building this evening. And you know, it's much appreciated. Rock with the channel. Continue to support it, man. One love to y'all. And everyone else is coming in, you know, hit the like button. You know, do me a favor and hit the like button. So these topics, man, I got 2 lives that's popping off. You know, once I finish this live at 7:30, I'm going to be speaking on covering the Bellator 284, you know, main event, main card. You know what I'm saying? Neiman Gracie against Goiti Yamauchi, and it's going to be contended in the welterweight division under the Bellator promotion. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm definitely going to get my mixed martial arts in today. But yet, let's get to the boxing topics first. All right? So, you see the thumbnails. So, I want to start off with Brian Norman Jr. So, as you all know, Brian Norman Jr. trains out of Granite City Boxing in my backyard. And I have some, you know, more details about what's going on with him, of course. I didn't want to really speak on it until I was able to find out some more details about his situation and where he's at right now, because a lot of people have been asking about the Assassin 2.0. And, you know, he's a talented fighter. So what I did find out was that Brian Norman did sign for 3 fights with the BOK Prime streaming service. For those 3 fights, I know one is scheduled for September 30th, I believe, if I'm correct, on the end of September. And then I'm not sure of the other 2 fights. Let me double check the date, if that fight is even scheduled yet for Brian Norman. I have resources called the home keys and the keyboard. So I want to double check and see if I got the date right. It's not even posted yet. So it's at the end of September, right? And then that will leave him with 2 more fights on that streaming service. So with that said, expect to see him outside of September, possibly having a quick turnaround and get back in the square, you know, before the end of the year twice. You know, he may be able to pull out a trio before the year is over with. We don't know. I don't know. And, you know, along those lines, I don't know what weight he's going to be contending at. It's hard to think that he's going to get down to 140, you know, with the muscle that he has on. So he might be contending at welterweight, but I'll be hard pressed to see him get down to 140 with a quick turnaround like that. Because, from my understanding, he may need to lose a little bit of muscle to even make that 140 weight limit. Also, with him, if you didn't know, he did fight on Showtime before, right? he has been on television with televised bouts, and then all of a sudden it dropped off. It's been back and forth speculations on why, the what, and only thing I'm going to say about it, it happens in boxing sometime. It happens with fighters who are with specific managers, so to speak, or whatever they got, whatever paperwork they ink themselves to, sometime it doesn't work out for every fighter to get these fights. And with Brian Norman Jr., that's kind of the case that's been going on with him for whatever reason. I thought, and I spoke on it, I believed he was being, ostracized a bit from all the post-tank sparring and, the social media attraction, social media gravitating to Brian Norman Jr. after that sparring session. I thought it was because of that. A lot of people were saying potentially it may be because of that. I don't know. I can't say definitively that was the reason why he was ostracized or they felt some type of way about it. But what I can tell you, that situation with who he signed to should be clearing up near the end of the calendar year, which is great, because that means he's going to have a heavy 2023. He's going to be back inside the ropes, possibly, okay, with Showtime. It's been talks behind the scene. This streaming service he's with right now, like I said, is only for 3 fights. It's only temporary. It's not permanent, because of course him and his pops want to go to the larger network with Showtime and be able to, fight on Showtime and start making, getting that limelight so people can see him shine once again. That's what the overall end state is, to get him back on TV with a big network, and so he can start fighting some names. Because right now he's 22-0. So after he has these 3 fights with BOK Prime, he wins them all, he would be 25-0. You know what I'm saying? So that'll look good with him stepping back on Showtime 25-0 to get the 2023 calendar started. And what else is going on? He was just over there in Philly, and from what I hear, he did a YSM, shout out to YSM Sports. He did an interview with him and Senior. You know what I'm saying? They did an interview outside. He went over there and got some really good work as always. That's not the first time he's been over there. The other time he was there, that was much talked about, that he went in there with Jaron Ennis and really got some good work for Jaron Ennis. And then, of course, they end up going back over there to get some good work. You know what I'm saying? So it's only up from here when it comes down to him stepping back in the square on the calendar year, so people can start, really getting acquainted with who Brian Norman Jr. is. You know what I'm saying? So be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. He's still signed, and when I'm talking about managerial, he's signed to Cameron Duncan right now. All right, because I didn't want nobody to get that confused. He signed with Cameron Duncan. All right, so we can get that understood. He is signed with Cameron Duncan. So once that resolves itself and expires near the end of the year, then you will see him pretty much getting more exposure when it comes to possibly now. I'm not saying he is, possibly with PBC Showtime, possibly, okay? Because I'm not in this camp like that. I'm not doing business like that. Only thing I can say is I know for a fact that he signed managerial wise with Cameron Duncan. I've been on the phone with Cameron Duncan and his pops. So I know for a fact that he is still signed with Cameron Duncan. And that in reality is, a process that has to expire. So in 2023, just look forward to him to breaking out, man. Very, very talented fighter. Like I said before, 22-0. A lot of people know him, not just in the ATL, but a lot of people know him around for different regions, but not so much on the larger tier of boxing. And I think that's because he's been out the limelight for quite some time, for whatever that reason's been. And that's what it is. Moving on. Jay Ocho on deck. What's good? Andrew Charles, what's good? King Mitch, salute to you. Teo's back and talking about the deepest depth of his ass again, full of shit. Nah, man, shout out to my boy Teo, man. Shout out to my boy Teo. You know what I'm saying? Jay Ocho called that man Teofimo. Damn. I don't know why y'all going in with Teofimo. Shout out to Mr. Gumbo on deck, man. Hey, big salute to the truck drivers out there, man. Real talk. Big shout out to the truck drivers on the road, man. That's not for everybody. You gotta be built different to be out on the road with the truck drivers, man, and how they go out there and handle business. Well, to be a truck driver. So salute to you, man. Definitely be safe out there, bro. He said, salute WCS, my brother, and the chat. Salute to you, bro. Definitely be safe. It's Friday out there, man. I don't know where you at, where you is, and where you're going. But look both ways, goddammit. I think Teo beats Devin, in my opinion. Damn. Well, they might just, they might just be at a higher weight class. They might just clash, man. But Devin got work he needs to do at 135. Blunts and Boxing said, YSM is heavily slept on. That's the goal I'm shooting for out here in Maryland. He's in that gym all the time. Love to see it. Yo, YSM is in a gym. Look, I did meet you with the brother from the ATL all the way to NYC. I've been around with him. But one thing he got is just like Blunts and Boxing talking. Man, he has, look, when I say exclusive, he has exclusive entry to one of the best gyms over there. That in itself is you're going to get content. You're going to get content regardless, man. Because it's going to be people coming, transit, in and out. They're going to pedestrian that gym. Boxers going to come in, like Brian, and go in there, boom, 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 and get their work and lead. It's going to be boxers going in and out, in and out. That's coverage, bro. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we talked about some boxing shit in depth when we was down here covering a fight called the ATL, man. Good brother. Shout out to YSM, man. Continue to do your thing. And he's over there covering Boots Ennis, man. That's where you want to be, man. I'm just saying, in his case, he's able to frequent the gym like that. In his case, he is the primary. But let's keep it moving. If you don't know, I'm about to show you a tweet that was sent out from Mauricio Suleiman, and pretty much this is talking about Tyson Fury's retirement. Mauricio Suleiman says, just finished a touching video conference with Tyson Fury, who has confirmed his official retirement from boxing. We fully support his decision, which is a dream for anyone to retire undefeated and as WBC champion of the world. This is at WBC Boxing. We'll prepare a special farewell event soon. Okay. All right. First of all, let me swing the weed whacker a little bit, right? You know what I'm saying? Let me start swinging the weed whacker a little bit because it's not what it seemed. It looked like a bed of roses, but it ain't. Okay. I don't know how many times Tyson Fury said he was retiring. This is becoming a running joke of him retiring. Now, the part you should understand is he can retire, but he still has 12 months to vacate the title. You know how that, you know what I'm saying? You know how that works? Like he can retire and still unretire to face the winner of whatever fight that's going to bring him some more money, i.e., Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk. He can do that. I don't believe this at all. I think it's just one of those deals where Tyson Fury is putting his retirement out there. He may indeed retire, whatever. But that doesn't mean shit until he vacates the title, y'all. Once again, it doesn't mean nothing until he vacates the title. Once he vacates the title, it is a wrap. He is no longer reigning defending WBC champion. And what makes it very, very interesting is that Deontay Wilder is on his way back. So that is going to just mix up everything. But it really doesn't have no effect on the scheme of everything unless Tyson Fury vacates, man. He hasn't vacated yet. And he has several months to vacate. So him talking about a retirement don't mean shit. Mauricio Suleiman sending out a farewell tweet means zero. It sounds good. It looks like a bed of roses. Ooh, we got a heavyweight champion retire undefeated. Bro, let's be smart about this. Tyson Fury, he may leave, you know, he's out there doing what he's doing. He may take a hiatus, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, do what he does. Visit a couple of freaking oases that's out there on vacation. Go snorkeling, you know, do some Gypsy King shit. And then before you know it, oh, Tyson's unretiring. He's coming back. And you ask yourself, how's that possible? How's that possible? He retired. How's he still a WBC champ? I'm telling you, his retirement means nothing. As long as he unretired before the time that he has allotted to vacate that WBC World Heavyweight Championship, it doesn't mean anything. It's almost like him being in between fights and he's unretiring to potentially set up a fight with the Anthony Joshua Alexander Usyk winner. Now, on top of that, people, Deontay Wilder's on his way back. And for what I'm hearing, you know, a little scuttlebutt here and there that they really want to try to set something up. Like, I have no idea what direction this is going, but I know a lot of scuttlebutt is out there, which is rumors. Scuttlebutt is rumors that they would definitely like him to face Alexander Usyk or Anthony Joshua. But of course, I truly believe the champion Tyson Fury would get first dibs to that if he chooses to unretire. He would definitely get first dibs. And the promoters would definitely make that shit happen for a heavyweight undisputed because there's money out there to be made. It's money out there. Especially if Alexander Usyk wins. We already know he'll beat Joshua ass. But if Alexander Usyk wins and both of these fighters are undefeated, going in there to fight the heavyweight, and we know from looking at Alexander Usyk, is that he's put on muscle. I'm curious to know if he's able to handle his muscle game better than Deontay Wilder did, because he looked like he's bulked up. So I'm curious to know. I'm curious to see how he's gonna look as far as his cardio, bro. Because like I told y'all, you know, when Anthony Joshua came up on the scene back then, dude was big as fuck, but he had the cardio of a goddamn mice with motherfucking shit. You know what I'm saying? A mice with asthma. Dude was big for nothing. The whole like he couldn't. He'd get tired real quick. I mean, he would be exhausted, man, and you know he'd just be standing there like a tall ass statue. And I'm curious to know how Alexander Usyk, one of the smaller heavyweights, is gonna move. You know what his lungs are gonna look like. Should he really think his strength and conditioning coach, whoever helped him put on that muscle, and did they do it the right way? That's what I want to see. I want to see if Alexander Usyk is that dude that put on muscle the right way and went in there and he looked good with his cardio. Because if that's a check mark, then imagine how he's going to look when he's stepping there with Tyson Fury. Because that fight is going to happen. That fight is going to happen, bro. I'm talking about the winner, either Usyk or Joshua. I think that fight for sure is going to happen with Tyson Fury. It has to happen. You know, everybody involved wants that fight to happen because there's millions involved. Let me get back to the live chat right quick. YSM has some solid content, exceptional coverage of boots. Yes, sir, man. What better place to be? You have a future world champion right there. You're local. You're able to have access, quick and short access to the gym, and you're going to see other fighters coming to the gym, and it's only going to build up, you know, who he is as a media segue. It's good shit. After I saw his interview with Brian Norman Jr., all your Brian Norman interviews start popping up on YouTube. I was like, whoa, WCS witnessed that sparring session. Yeah, for sure. You know, for sure. That's the picture that's actually in the thumbnail if you look at it. You know what I'm saying? If you look at it, I'll put it back up there in a little bit. I have no idea. Mr. Gummo say, where's the Wilder fight going to be? W says, I don't know at this point in time. I do not know, but I will find out. And then, you know, of course, they're saying that Deontay Wilder is fighting Robert Helenius, a former sparring partner, and it's set up for him to win and all that. I'm not going to get into the red tape and all the dang criticism. You know what I'm saying? The man just started training camp, getting back into the groove. I mean, and people are already saying, oh, you know, he sparred Robert Helenius. He's not going to, you know, it's not going to be a competitive fight. We ain't looking for anything except to see the Bronze Bomber get back in there, box, look good doing it, and on to the next bigger fight. That's it. I don't care who he sparred. There's been plenty of sparring partners. And big shout out to Brian Norman Jr. Man, he already know what it is with me. You know what I'm saying? Do your damn thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Continue to do your thing, man. These months on the back end of this year is going to fly by for you, man. LOS Suleiman, boxing is full of media vultures and fake news. I just read an article where Fury was firing Sugar Hill and fighting Chisora. The Chisora fight is definitely not happening. Okay, I can tell y'all that right now. The Chisora fight is definitely not happening. Okay, y'all can just put that to rest. The Chisora fight is definitely not happening. That's not happening. There's no way that, you know, even if it's a stay busy fight, that Tyson Fury benefits from that. And then what will Derek Chisora get coming off of a win with Kubrat Pulev than what Dillian White just received? Dillian White received 80-20. What is Derek Chisora gonna get coming off a win over Kubrat Pulev, dog? I'm just curious. Help me help myself. You know, somebody tell me how he gonna benefit. How's that even productive? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, speaking about Tyson Fury and the whole you know, the whole time mix up. Here go the picture people's talking about when when Robert Helenius actually was up in Alabama and he sparred Deontay Wilder in preparation for his Tyson Fury fight. You know what I'm saying? For the Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder fight. And you can see height for height. You can see freaking Robert Helenius is not a small fighter. That's a big dude. Both of them height-wise is damn near equal. But Robert Helenius is not a small fighter. You know what I'm saying? And he has decent power, bro. That doesn't mean it's anything less than what we've seen from Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder has been the smaller fighter, but he's been the heavier puncher. God blessed him with that. I got Joshua beating him this time, probably stopping him. It's difficult for me, Gumbo, to even caveat. No, it's different for me. It's hard for me to concur with what you're talking about because Joshua has been everything that I say he was from back in the day when this like negotiation was going on between him and Deontay Wilder. I felt that he was pretty much a predictable type fighter, poor cardio, and he was robotic. And his chin wasn't as ironclad as people felt it was. You know what I'm saying? So when he ran into that cherry pick gone wrong by basically going out and searching for Vladimir Klitschko, who hasn't fought since he lost his title to Tyson Fury. He went out there and cherry picked Vladimir Klitschko and found himself getting his ass beat. And look, Klitschko would have finished the job if he wasn't in retirement. But since he was in retirement, he let off the gas, allow Anthony Joshua to pick up that WBA title. You know what I'm saying? It didn't hurt Klitschko any. It didn't hurt him any. He already Hall of Famer. He was already in retirement. And he'd been out the ring for over a year. So, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is with this. Anthony Joshua has been protected. You know what I'm saying? They always talk about the shit with Charles Martin for his IBF title. Scoop that up real nice. You know what I'm saying? They say Charles Martin got the highest payday ever. Somewhat like 5 or 6 million, allegedly. And he went off into the sunset. And then he went over there, beat Vladimir Klitschko. Then he went over there, fought Joseph Parker, where the referee didn't allow them to engage or none of that shit. He was just there. Every blink, boom, they threw it to break. See, it wasn't Lawrence Cole, though. You know what I'm saying? Every time they got close to even making break. Okay. Let's not get too physical. Okay. It was terrible. But yet I blame Joseph Parker because it just seems like he was there to survive. It didn't seem like he had that kill or be killed mentality to keep his belt. You know what I'm saying? I just think he was in the same real talk. I just think he was there to survive and make sure Joshua get the belts. Joshua get the belts. Once again, cherry picking going wrong. Jarrell Miller fucks up and had like 13 freaking different PDs in the system. 13? Yeah, 13. And with that 13, he was dropped out the fight, and then they cherry picked Andy Ruiz, and we know what happened. You feel me? So we can't say he cherry picked Oleksandr Usyk because Usyk was the WBA mandatory, and we all seen what happened with that. You know what I'm saying? So now we back at it, and we'll see what happens with the Tyson Fury situation. We'll see what happened. I don't know if you heard the hold up for a second. I don't know if you heard Sean Porter talking about the Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence fight. He said he's just waiting for it to be announced. Now listen to the boxing scholars out there, right? That doesn't mean that he's saying that the fight is being made. He's just waiting for it to be announced. It pretty much tells you that he's just waiting for something. He's waiting for it to be announced. He didn't say anything was done. He didn't say it was closing. It was looking. It was nearing. It was nearing, looking, closing. He didn't say any of that. He just said, hey, I'm just waiting for the fight to be announced. That's it. Also, what I liked about what Sean Porter said is what I said previously. Real talk. I said they should promo this on a press tour. They should have a press tour, man. It would be great for them to have a press tour down here in the A. 2 black fighters. This is Black Hollywood, man. It would be great for them to come down here and have a press tour. Just a press tour, man. That shit would be packed. We get Errol Spence down here in the South in the A. We get Terrence Crawford in the A. Man, 2 black fighters fighting for undisputed, dropping through the A. Man, that'll be a good first stop on this press tour if they decide to do it, because that's a way they can draw more fans in, you know what I'm saying, get them acclimated to how important the fight is being finally made. And then there's a lot of questions that the media can ask dealing with this fight, since it has such an extensive history. If you dive down in the boxing aquatics when it comes to this media, it goes deep. The free dive is unbelievable. That's exactly what media has been doing. Free diving this motherfucking topic. Real talk. There's been people drowning in this shit, dog. Hey, it's been people drowning in this motherfucking dog. It's just been too much. But I like what Porter said. He said that, you know, he would like for it to be a press tour. He would like for them to be able to engage one another, you know, just like the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury one. It was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? The shit was everywhere. Talking back and forth. You know, they was building up the fight, everything. It got a little physical. Yeah, man. Let's do this. Let's put the press tour. We only need, I would say, not to exhaust it, I would say a minimum of two press tours. One on the East, one on the West. If you're going to do it over here in the East, some people might say, well, you know, NYC would be the place because, you know, that's the boxing mecca. You know what I'm saying? What I don't want it to be is down in Florida. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they have boxing down in Florida, but nothing like entertainment value when it comes to Black Hollywood down in the A. That's just me. That's just my opinion about that. So I like what Sean Porter had mentioned about the fight. He's just waiting. He just feels like a press tour should be something that they make happen. And he said that even both fighters at this point in time, they know what it's like to be in front of the camera. Like before, they weren't in front of the camera like that too much, but now that's past them. You know what I'm saying? They know what it's like to build up the fight, talk it up, and everything else. So they need to be on this press tour. And I think Fight Hype asked him, like, who's the better trash talker between Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford? And Sean Porter said Errol Spence. So I was like, okay, that's something that was a little bit off guard to me. He might be right, but I don't think so, man. I don't know. We'll see. We will see, bro. You know, if the fight happened, we will see if they have the tour. Teofimo Lopez. Let me get back to some of these. Let me see. What's going on, Papa Lot on deck? Salute to you. Yeah, the article had quotes from Fury and all. I mean, the one thing about it, he can retire, but that doesn't mean he's going to vacate his title immediately. It doesn't. He's going to sleep. Gerald Washington knocked him out. Yeah, I'm just saying. I didn't say Robert Helenius was coming here as this hard knock, world beater. I didn't say he was a new coming. I didn't say Robert Helenius was a new coming because he defeated Andy Konoski twice. You didn't hear me say that now. I just said that they match up real nice from the picture, okay? I'm talking about the steel. I didn't say they match up nice when it came to their skill set. And you ask some people, Robert Helenius any day, anytime. He looks way better than Deontay. Well, what about the level for which they fought on? That means nothing at the end of the day. You know, Deontay has 2 losses. Robert has losses. Hey, they're pretty much on a level playing field, buddy. They're pretty much on a level playing field, okay? Let's not make too much out of this. Man, people thinking Usyk, well, Mitch thinks Usyk's about to stop AJ. I can't argue with that because, like I said, AJ's chin is very, very suspect. AJ don't have to do much to beat Usyk, in my opinion. He needs to get over his anxiety or whatever it is and put hands on Usyk till he breaks. He has every physical advantage. Damn. So let's talk about his physical advantage, right? Just for a brief moment. He always looked the part there, Andrew. But internally, That's where it became degenerative. His cardio. Is it something going on with his respiratory system? Does he have asthma? Is it something, the reason why he won't just turn over? You know what I'm saying? He won't turn over those cylinders, man, and power through some of those fights and really let his hands go. Is he uncomfortable? Does he not like to do cardio? What is it? What is it as to why he's not wanting to turn over the cylinders, bro? Because obviously he has decent power depending on his competition. He has decent power. I mean, he has some knockouts on his record now. Let's not fake like he didn't stop Alexander Povetkin. That's not fake. He didn't stop Dominique Brazil. You know, excuse me. I know it's Friday, but I did mention Dominique Brazil. So don't spit your motherfucking drink out. I'm just talking about knockouts. He did stop Dillian White. You know what I'm saying? He did stop Vladimir Klitschko. He did stop Charles Martin. You know what I'm saying? Didn't he stop Charles Martin? What did he stop in 3 rounds? 2 or 3 rounds or something like that? He stopped Charles Martin. He has some stoppages in his record, man. He stopped Carlos Takam, which was premature and bullshit. So anyway, I don't know if it's something internally with his respiratory system that he's afraid to really power up those cylinders, man, and put some work together to get that knockout. I don't know. It's just something about him, man. I don't know. All this time he's been lazy or whatever. I don't know, man. But he just goes into that land of nod where he's waiting for his opponent to do something. Then when his opponent finally stepped forward and line him up with some nice effective punches, Anthony Joshua seemed to just be a Joshua in headlights, bro. He don't know what to return with. Sometimes he will, but most of the time he's just standing there like an effigy, bro. Like, come on, man. Somebody get him some help. And also, I forgot with Brian Norman, his three fights is on the streaming service is going to pay-per-view. From what I'm hearing, I don't know the exact prices. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the exact prices, but it's going to be pay-per-view. So yeah, here's a 3-fight deal. It's going to be pay-per-view. Now for Teofimo Lopez, right? This is what y'all should understand about Teofimo Lopez. A lot of people are talking about him because when he was on the high of high, I mean, Teofimo Lopez was that guy, man. Like you couldn't tell him otherwise. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't tell him he wasn't who he was. You couldn't tell him that. You couldn't tell Teofimo he wasn't him. He was, dog. You talking about his dad. Look, I remember the interview his pops had did in Texas, right? And I interviewed his pops in Texas, but I'm not, you know, he told me the same thing. But when he did the interview, right, he was putting out there what his son was going to be. You know what I'm saying? What his son was going to be able to accomplish in 15 fights. You know what I'm saying? People was laughing at Senior. They were saying this man don't have it all. He's on drugs. He's this. He's out of his fucking mind. He's da. They didn't take him serious, man. But Teofimo Senior kept at it. He said, "My son's the best. Nobody can beat him. I'm telling you, my son's gonna be world champion. 15 fights, I guarantee you. Watch what I tell you. He's gonna be world champion. Watch what I tell you." There's no hesitation there. Somebody asked him a question. So how do you know if he never really faced any chance? Hey, I know my son. He's going to be world champion. I guarantee it. That's all you heard from Senior. He's going to be world champion. And he went in there, you know, outside of the failed WBC tournament. And he beat Nakatani, Masayoshi Nakatani, and he defeated Richard Comey in 2 rounds. And the rest was history. They start calling Teofimo Senior Nostradamus. You feel me? At first, they was calling him foolish. You know what I'm saying? Senile. Talking about the man might have early stages of dementia. They was really on Senior, man. They was saying this dude don't know what the fuck he talking about. And guess what? Tio got it done. And we already know what happened. Mr. No rematch himself. Was Mr. No rematch himself. Vasil Lomachenko ended up picking up his second loss against Teofimo Lopez. You know what I'm saying? He picked up his second loss, no rematch clause against Teofimo Lopez, in which he had one of the worst game plans somebody of his stature can come in here and do, come in here and perform against Teofimo Lopez. Real talk. If Lomachenko would have won that fight against Teo, man, you talking about untouchable? Lomachenko would have been absolutely untouchable, dog. Unfreaking touchable. But Teofimo got it done. And what does dad say? I told you. I told you. Nobody can beat my fucking son. Nobody can beat my fucking son. He's the best on the planet Earth. That's, you know, he got that groggy voice. He's the best. No one can beat my fucking son. And at that moment, man, they relished in the moment, man. They relished in the moment. And my main point for bringing up Teofimo Lopez is now that he's returning to fight Pedro Campa, they start to talk about what I mentioned leading up to the Kambosos fight, that he had a situation going on health-wise. Everybody want to discount it because of what he did and he got beat. But I look at it like this, right? The man did something amazing. Because I rock with Teofimo hard, man. Real talk. I still rock with him, right? I tell people he's going to be a world champion in 140. But peep this out. The way he was feeling in that fight with George Kambosos, and knowing the depth on how severe his illness was, his ailment that he had, it said it's a balloon-like intrusion of air in his thoracic cavity, the likely result of a tiny tear in his esophagus that developed as he rehydrated after the weigh-in. How he breathed, I can't even explain, said one specialist who examined him. Like his neck and chest were in a vice. Bottom line, he could have died that night. Teofimo says, every doctor who sees my report, they look at me like, how the hell did you survive that? Either you're a beast or a god. I look at his medical condition, what he had to deal with, and then I revisit how he came out in the first round. And a lot of people say it was bonsai. It was, y'all. He knew, he felt the way he did, and he had the cojones, man. He had the goddamn, the courage to go out there and say, you know what, I'm gonna try to end this shit early. He went out there and did it, bro. You know how much it takes to go out reckless like that? He went out there extremely, over the top reckless. The fighters haven't been warmed up. You know what I'm saying? They haven't even started fatigue yet. And he was going out there trying to knock George out. And George end up catching him. I tell people, Teofimo Lopez has a decent chin, bro. Kambosos caught him flush on the jawline on the left side of his face with an overhand right. And he just fell back on his glove and got up. But this is another part that only caveats to what I'm saying, right? Where is this? This was profound. This was profound for Teofimo Lopez. Let me find it right quick, man. I had it highlighted, but I clicked on something else. It's profound what he said. It is profound. I know it by heart. I memorized it. it's off ESPN. So pretty much what he said in the 7th round, he said he had a prayer with God, and he said, God, help me through this because I'm about to do something that I'm not used to. I'm about to quit, because he was feeling so bad, right? And this is about the 7th round, if I'm on the dial with it. And he said, then I knocked the bitch down, and in the next 3 rounds. I knocked the bitch down, something to that extent. I'm still trying to find the exact quote, but he said, and then I knocked the bitch down. I always tell people with the Kambosos fight, it was more so Teofimo not being himself. No one's going to tell me that George Kambosos stepped back in there with Teo right now. Of course he's going to lose. Of course he gets stopped. George Kambosos gets stopped, man. If he fights Teo at 140, he gets stopped, period. We already seen what Devin Haney did to him. He easily went 12 rounds. Teofimo stops George Kambosos. A healthy Teofimo Lopez now is a problem. He's a very dangerous fighter, bro. And it's good to see him heading back into the square. Now, it was a point in time where, let me go back. Let me put this up, y'all. Now, it's history behind this. Okay? Check this out. This is the time where I did a video that I went up to Texas. Can't nobody dispute that. Can't nobody lie on me and all that. I showed all the footage on me covering Teo. It don't matter if the haters speak or whatever. It don't matter. I know for a fact that I went up there and I have all the footage on Teofimo Lopez on a top rank event. A top rank event. This picture right here is when we was all out to eat. That's him and his team. That's him and his team. That's me taking the picture. So you can't tell me if I'm right there in the restaurant with them, and this, you know how people say on God, on a stack of Bibles? His mom brought me, look, his mom bought me a Long Island. I have a video where I'm sipping on a Long Island. You know what I'm saying? The dude right there in the suit, that's Lee, man. Lee plugged all that in for me. Me and him was Marines. That's my Marine comrade right there. He has his own boxing gym down in Florida. Yes. I've seen his kids box. He has a large amateur stable, bro. He has a large amateur stable. I've covered his kids several times in South Carolina. I covered his kids at an amateur tournament in Wilmington, North Carolina. Amateurs, bro. So yeah, he linked that up, and I had an awesome time covering the pictures in the locker room, going behind, you know, having that all access. It was lovely, bro. That's the best media on that level, on a top rank. I mean, at the top tier promotion that I ever been, because it was so effective. It was so easy flowing. You know what I'm saying? I was able to move and groove. I didn't have to hear no freaking barking in my ear as if I'm a different type of, no, you're not from this planet. Get back out there with the aliens, okay? You know, I didn't have to hear that shit. I was moving, going where I was supposed to go, going with the team, being able to communicate with the team. Now, this is what I want to get with as far as another thing that they mentioned. They mentioned his personal life and everything else that was going on. They mentioned how Teofimo Lopez is having problems missing weight. Teofimo's been basically competing at 135 since he was like 14 years old. I believe that's what he said, around 14 years old. He's been competing at that weight for a long ass time. Even when I was covering him, all right, he was having problems making weight. But yet they wanted to get the championship. They had championship goals at 135 before they move up to 140. So every move was strategic, and it had to be perfect because they didn't want to waste any time with him becoming a champion. So when they redirected and they found out, check this out. If you didn't hear from nobody else, I'm gonna tell you how me going up there was absolutely fact. We're discussing over lunch on how the whole WBC shit fell out. Because Vasyl Lomachenko, the word was out that they wasn't going to have a title eliminator. It's just going to be for the interim title. It wasn't going to be a title eliminator fight in the tournament. It wasn't guaranteed that the winner of the tournament was going to face Vasyl Lomachenko. Can you imagine that shit being out that long? They wasn't going to get the shot. And what happened? Devin Haney fought for the interim. Team Teofimo Lopez redirected and went the IBF route, bro. And they got to the goal. They got to the motherfucking pot of gold through the IBF route. So with all the debating that went on and talking about Teofimo was ducking this in the WBC, a lot of them wasn't there for the conversations that I was there for. At first, they said the WBC, and come to find out, it was pointless for them to be in the WBC because they wasn't going to have a title eliminator. Look it up. Look the shit up. They was going to look out for Vasyl Lomachenko, and you know, people say, well, Lomachenko ducked Devin. No, that wasn't the case. They pretty much gave him the what you call it. They gave him the VIP treatment. After Lomachenko picked up that WBC belt from defeating Luke Campbell for the vacant WBC title, he said he wasn't fighting for the rest of the year. So with that, it was already out there. Mauricio Sulaiman accommodated him, and that's why you didn't have a title eliminator for Devin Haney to be the mandatory. Devin Haney, from my understanding, he fought what? Was it Zaur Abdullayev? Zaur Abdullayev, if I'm correct or not. He fought him for the interim title, won the interim title, but that was it. Vasyl Lomachenko elevated the WBC franchise, the only second fighter at that time to pick up the franchise belt. That's true. So while they over there doing the WBC catastrophe, Teofimo them with the IBF route end up getting the championship, the IBF, and all Lomachenko had to do was pick up one belt. All he had to do. Look, it's crazy how shit worked out because he ended up fighting Richard Comey, who was a common opponent of Teofimo Lopez, after Teofimo defeated him. I think Lomachenko was betting that Teofimo would beat George Kambosos, and then him and Teo would have a rematch. But Vasyl Lomachenko didn't get that opportunity. I guess, you know, when it boils down to it, his arrogance got the best of him for not putting a rematch clause in there, which would have consummated a lot of that shit. But he didn't have a rematch clause, and he never had the opportunity to face Teofimo Lopez in a rematch. Why? Because he lost the belts to George Kambosos, man. D-Ray Promotions on deck. Salute to you. What's good? So when they went over there, they had the whole plan out. Boom. All we got to do is get this title, and we find Lomachenko. You know how I know that? His pops was talking to us about it. We getting Lomachenko. We're going to fuck him up. He's scared. Lomachenko's scared. Lomachenko's scared of my son. He was saying that shit long before the fight happened, bro. Look. Senior was saying that shit long before the fight happened, bro. He was saying his son was going to be champion long before that shit, bro. In 15 fights. He didn't just say he was going to be champion. He said he's going to be champion in 15 fights. He's going to be champion in 15 fights. Boom. Got it. You know what I'm saying? That was a hell of a damn weekend for media coverage, bro. I'm not going to lie. It was a hell of a motherfucking weekend, dog. Because I actually was able to cover a future world champion as Teofimo Lopez before he picked up the title. Seriously. And then to be a part and hear the discussion for which the route they was taking. And then they told me, okay, it's not something to put out there yet, blah, blah, blah. But I knew. So when he didn't go, he's going the IBF route, and his fight with Masayoshi Nakatani, I did put it out there. I say they never had plans like that. I mean, they initially had plans for the WBC, but they didn't have plans to stay after they found that they wouldn't be able to fight Lomachenko for the belt. So they went the other way. Smart move. Because we know how strict the IBF is. So look, the IBF had what the WBC failed to do. The IBF had a title eliminator. The title eliminator within the ranking system was Masayoshi Nakatani and Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo beat Nakatani, and then he went in there and fought Richard Comey for the IBF title. The rest is history, bro. That's how the shit played out. Point blank, cut and dry. So regardless of the bullshit that you may be told, I was in Texas to motherfucking cover Teofimo Lopez. Top rank event. And another way, just to refute the people who sitting up here talking shit that they don't know, I was credentialed for top rank. I was fucking credentialed, bro. I was credentialed for top rank. Derek James and Errol Spence isn't top rank. Nor did I know they was going to be there. That's on God, everything. I didn't know they was going to be there. I just happened to bump into them on fight night. So that's a motherfucking lie. What I said was I walked up to him as a black man trying to be respectful because I finally saw them. I'm there to cover Teofimo Lopez, right? I saw them. I saw him, Derek James, and I didn't even get a hello, how you doing, Derek? I'm like, I'm older than you. And I guess dude had a fit. I don't want no interview. I didn't ask you for an interview. I just gave a greeting. How you doing? Because I was on my way to the entry. Look, I was on my way to the entrance for which I was going to walk out with Teofimo Lopez. I was on my way over there. That's where I was at. I had my camera with me. I had my shit with me. Boom, boom, boom. I was over there. And as you can see on the walkout, I'm right behind and I'm walking out to the ring with the team. It was great. But for Teofimo Lopez, man, he had issues. They talk about him and his mother, and his wife, how this situation played out. And Teofimo even mentioned how, at one point in time it was affecting him. He felt suicidal. You remember when he was going through that. A lot of people, was trying to ride him off and say he was done. But man, hey, you're in a combat sport, man. You know what I'm saying? You're in a place where you're getting hit in the head. Shout out to Tony Boswell, man. Salute to you, bro. He said, much respect at World Combat Sports and the chat. Stop there and show support and hit the like button. Just got off work. Salute. Salute to you, Tony Boswell, always showing support. WCS support. Much appreciated, my brother. Be safe out there. You feel me? Be safe out there. People doing crazy shit, bro. People doing crazy shit out there. But Teofimo Lopez was having, family, personal issues, and they pretty much asked him about that. But the beautiful aspect people should look is that how many fights Teofimo has, how his team marketed him, because leading to the George Kambosos, disaster, he did some good things. He earned some sponsorships, Budweiser. Come on now. His IG account, they hired another PR person or whatever. She was ahead of that, cleaned up his freaking IG account, and he had nothing but new, fresh, professional boxing pictures out there on his IG account. None of that leisure, everyday duties. No, this was boxing pics. And, it just seems like they had goals set for Teofimo Lopez. Like, how can You go in there and negotiate, right, against Vasyl Lomachenko for the amount of money. From my understanding, he may possibly negotiated 800,000 more than what he was getting, from 1.2 to 2 mil. I don't get into the numbers game, but I'm assuming that may have been what he negotiated. And that money did not come out of Vasyl Lomachenko's purse. Let's make that clear. Then he wants to even look. He wants to, in his first defense, he's not taking what Top Rank is giving him. It goes to a purse bid. And Triller, who is out here just paying fighters crazy, wins the purse bid. At that moment, Teofimo Lopez is looking gravy. Like, Teofimo can't do no wrong, man. Seriously, he can't do no wrong. He's making moves. He's getting it in. I mean, people's like, damn, he's making smart business moves. He's getting paid. And that fell through. Unfortunately. You know, COVID, all this stuff. Supposedly he got COVID. You know, everything that was going on with Floyd Mayweather coming in there with Logan Paul. I mean, the whole situation was disastrous. And you know how Floyd do it. He did the same thing to Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez, bro. You know, he dropped in on him a date before they supposed to fight, forced people to pay for his fight. You know what I'm saying? Look, forced them to pay for his fight and decide whether they was going to pay for the Canelo and Gennady fight. Floyd is a savage, bro. But shout out to Team Lopez, man. Shout out to the team. That was one of the best media coverage. Shout out to Lee. Man, thank you for that opportunity, bro. Real talk. Thank you for that opportunity. I had a great time out there. Tio said he going to drop dime on all those crooks in the YTC that take money to sell out. Well, guess what? I know he ain't mentioning my name. I know he ain't mentioning my name. You know, real talk. I know he's not mentioning my name. I know that for a fact. Because I'm not him. I'm not who he may be referring to. One or more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not him. But I can tell you, man, shout out to Team Lopez. You know, I'm looking forward to you going in here against Pedro Campa. And yeah, I believe he's gonna go in there and look spectacular. Campa is a little bit taller than him. Has more experience, obviously, than Teofimo Lopez, who is 16-1. But I'm telling you, he said he feels strong at 140. He was having so many problems dropping down to 135. He feels much stronger now, and he's gonna be the best at that division. He say his goal is to be undisputed at 140. Imagine Teofimo Lopez being able to reciprocate what he did at 135. And look, it's going to be doubters and naysayers and critics because of the way he looked with George Kambosos. But look, they have to take in consideration that he had the medical report and there was obviously a problem with him. So if he goes in here and look extremely good in his upcoming fights at 140 and he become world champion, I mean, of course, it's going to be critics. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be critics. It's according to who he's fighting and where the belts are going to be at and everything else. But if he goes up there and perform and he say he's going to be undisputed at two weight divisions, let's see. He already, the O is no longer there. That's gone. So he might be fighting with a different purpose now. He might be fighting with a different purpose to say, yeah, I can be undisputed in my second division. I'm going to show y'all just like I showed you. I can become world champion in 15 fights, and I can become undisputed. You know what I'm saying? And don't nobody put in the chat that he wasn't undisputed. Mitch, you know what I'm saying? I know Mitch had his motherfucking fingers on the damn key. Nah, he wasn't undisputed. Stop saying that. Stop saying that. Hey, but I have to jump off. You know what I'm saying? I got to come back on with my Bellator, freaking live, Bellator 284. Like I put up here before, Bellator MMA, Gracie versus Yamauchi, South Dakota. They all the way in South Dakota. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be interesting because Yamauchi has a ground game. Gracie has a ground game, of course, but Yamauchi is the only one that's been having recent subs. You know what I'm saying? His opponents. So it can be two grappling practitioners, but that doesn't mean that it's going to go to the ground. This may indeed stay on the feet as much as we know it. And then if one fighter get broken down, whoever that may be, then it may become a an event where we get to see them in their grappling atmosphere. You know, we'll see how that play out. But just because you have two grapplers, that doesn't mean it's going to be straight to the mat. It's going to be level changes, body locks, single doubles, you know, top play, bottom play, and all that shit. But hey, it's been a pleasure, man. Y'all hold that shit down, man. I'll be right back on. You know what I'm saying? Salute to everyone that pulled up to the live. Appreciate you. Shout out to the ones that's getting back into the groove, like Teofimo Lopez in his fight tomorrow night. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's a fight that's going on tonight in boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's boxing, it's boxing that's going on tonight. But man, y'all hold it down, man. And continue to support the channel. Trying to tune in to World Combat Sports. I'll be